the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go.
ThaBoxingvoice.com live here with Chris Algieri. Chris, you're here at Brooklyn Barclays Center. Daniel Jacobs is back. First and foremost, are you part of the team again as a strength and, not strength and conditioning, but more nutritionist and cook, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Performance nutrition coach and conditioning coach.
So we take it you did your job. 159.6, he's come in weight, and he's been at 160 for a long time, so you have to be patting yourself on the back that you're part of the process.
You know, Danny does the work. He does a great job. You know, he trusts me and what we do throughout camp. It's been great to be able to work with him. Honestly, it's getting easier. You know, this is the twilight of his life at middleweight, but he's making the weight better than ever.
Now, anything in particular he asks you to cook for him for this training camp, or are you at liberty to come up with your own menu day to day?
You know, for the most part, Danny leaves it up to me. You know, I ask him, "Hey, champ, what do you want to eat today?" And he said, "Whatever you want, bro." You know, he gives me, you know, full regard when it comes to what we're going to eat, what his body needs. I see every single training session, so I know how he's performing and what he needs to refuel properly.
What are some of Daniel Jacobs' weirdest cravings? I mean, you're the chef. What does he ask you to prepare that you've never expected?
Not so much that I don't expect it, but he craves oysters quite a bit. So he does like oysters from time to time, which is, I have no problem with. It's great for testosterone anyway. So oysters are in there. Bison meat he craves quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure he's sick of salmon and cod at this point.
Now, for most males, we know seafood, especially oysters, that, you know, that's an aphrodisiac. But how does that help him for boxing? Explain that for us.
I mean, anything that's going to raise testosterone, and oysters are something that are supposed to do that. So keeping testosterone up, keeping that GGG is really important for, you know, when you're training. Yeah, you know, Danny's been great throughout camp. You know, he's had great energy throughout.
Now, middleweight division is obviously a hot division right now. Where do you see Danny right now in that division?
He's right there with the Triple Gs and the Canelos. You know, Canelo, unfortunately, you know, is in some hot water right now. Triple G's got to kind of, he's keeping busy. I shouldn't say he's not sitting out. I just hope it doesn't keep Danny from mixing up with those guys. That's where he belongs.
And when you say keep Danny from mixing it up, you mean the fact that maybe Triple G will be waiting to see can he get the rematch with Canelo, being as though they made a lot of money in the first one.
Exactly. I mean, I would imagine that they would fight first. I just don't want him to go too long to where Triple G's age is really going to kind of have a factor, and Danny's just getting better and better. So I like to see those guys fight sooner than later. Well,
if you're a Danny Jacobs fan, you don't want to see him wait around to see what does Triple G or Canelo decide. How could he become, I guess, a maker of his own destiny?
You know, he's been staying busy, which is great, you know, which is very, very difficult to do at the top of the sport. He's an elite guy, and he's averaging 2 fights a year, sometimes 3. So, you know, he's going to be back in November. So as long as he keeps busy and stays relevant, which he has, I think he's in a good spot.
Boxing is synonymous with mandatories, and that's usually the way that you get what you want. You know, a champion cannot avoid a mandatory position, or he have to vacate the title. Public perception is a motherfucker. Should Danny, if he can pass the test of Selecki, call out Jermall Charlo for that mandatory WBC position so that he can ensure that he gets the winner of Canelo Triple G?
You know, Daniel wants that fight. You know, we'll see if that comes to fruition in the next fight. He's got to take care of Selecki first. But this is a mandatory spot itself. So, and I believe that in terms of the pecking order of which belts mandatory is up, I think Danny's ahead of the WBC anyway. So, you know, the fight in front of us is really what's important.
Now, obviously, you're with the Danny Jacobs camp. I mean, can you tell us what were, I guess, the emotions when everything happened? Because Jermall Charlo wants us to believe that what took place between him and Jacobs was planned, and he was told not to act irrationally, and then felt set up in a way that, you know, after you tell him to refrain himself from, you know, being himself, Jacobs approaches him in a Barclay, you know, stairwell somewhere. How was that for Team Jacobs? Did he mention anything about it?
No, it was exactly what it looked like. You know, we didn't know anything about anything beforehand. Danny didn't say anything about that or have any idea. That was Danny being Danny. You know, that the opportunity presented itself, and he took it.
How do you see that fight playing out? That's kind of the new fight everybody wants, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, Charlo is a great fighter, but I haven't seen much in middleweight. He hasn't really been tested yet. He's only had 2 fights here, and it hasn't been against the stiffest opposition, where Danny has been lifelong middleweight and fighting the best of the best. So. You know.
Well, Chris, man, I want to thank you. Unless you have time to give us your prediction on Joshua and Wilder, biggest fight of the year. We want it. $50 million Deontay Wilder has offered Anthony Joshua. It's what Anthony Joshua asked for. He said, hey, if this is $1 million fight, well, you know what, Team Wilder, send me $50 million and I'll take it. Wilder has sent it, and we have not heard Joshua and his team accept. What's your thoughts?
I'm a huge fan of Joshua. Up until recently, I had him winning this fight, no problem. My latest prediction is Wilder by knockout.
Wow. Chris, thank you so much.
All right.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
The game, 'cause see the boxing